Alright guys, what is going on today? Welcome back to the channel. Now before I get on with this video, I want to thank everybody. We are at 3,000 subs now. Thank you to everyone who's subbed so far, and let's get on with this. This video I'm talking about opening number 10. You guys seen this opening? Holy shit, the animation in this opening? Bro, I've never seen anything like this in the Boruto series so far. This animation is top tier, and the way the layout of the opening is, I think this is the best opening thus far. I like this opening. For me personally, the song needs to grow on me a bit, but the animation, the direction, the way this opening went, it is crazy. As for the ending is pretty simple. There's not much in it, but the opening, for me personally, I find that there's some foreshadowing. So let's get on with this. So I'm pretty sure you guys seen the main picture of the one where Boruto screams in his hand. I think that is the piece that stands out the most in this whole opening, because Boruto is slowly transitioning over to that dark side where he hates the karma, where he hates himself, and that scene matches that. If you look at Boruto, him screaming at his karma, he basically doesn't want this life no more. He doesn't want that lifestyle no more. The karma hurt him more than he knows. For example, him stabbing Sasuke's eye. You saw the way he reacted after he stabbed Sasuke's eye. He was afraid that he would hurt other people. Even though Sarada told him it wasn't his fault, he still went towards that dark path for that whole episode where he was so depressed that Momoshiki might take control, and he's scared that he's gonna hurt other people. Which, looking at this opening, I think it's a foreshadow towards the manga where he might kill Shikamaru, and that may lead Shikadai to hating him. So that, I think, is the most iconic scene in this whole opening. Now, looking at the opening, I am going to go through different areas of the opening that caught my attention. Now, in the beginning, when Boruto's sitting down before the rain, he is basically alone, away from all his teammates and everything. Now, this part here stuck out to me because if you slow it down, you see there's two doves there. Don't you find it kind of weird that there's two doves at nighttime just before it's about to rain? Because most of the time, birds don't come out when it's raining, or even if it's about to rain, they know and they move away since their feathers get damp and they won't be able to fly as good. So I find it weird that there's two doves there. Now, I did search online what the doves represent. The doves mean friendship, love, peace, and there's something to do with the third chakra, but I'm not too sure if that relates to that. But the two doves represent Sarada and Mitsuki. See, Boruto's alone in that scene, and then something happens and the two doves fly away. That's basically Boruto pushing away Sarada and Mitsuki, which he did. If you guys remember, after the Ishiki fight, he was avoiding everybody. Even Mitsuki and Sarada couldn't find him. So those two doves flying away are basically Boruto pushing away Sarada and Mitsuki. But those two doves, in my opinion, represent love, since Boruto cares for his teammates. Now, Kawaki, I wouldn't say is a teammate or a close friend. He's more of a brother, and his two closest friends are Sarada and Mitsuki. He's been with them the longest time, and he cares for them deeply as they care for him. So I understand why that scene makes sense. Now, it depends on how you interpret the scene. That's how I see it, because I find it strange that there are two doves there. So then, jumping back to the part where Boruto's screaming at his karma and it's raining. Now, you see a couple of things here. First, you see Kawaki, Sarada, Mitsuki, Chocho, Shikadai, and Inojin. Now, what I noticed in this scene is Mitsuki and Sarada look like they're out to find Boruto. It looks like he ran in the village or wherever after he did something, and he's screaming at the karma, which basically makes Kawaki and Sarada react to him. Kawaki reacts to him in the way that he wants to get rid of Boruto's karma, where Sarada reacts to him in a way that she needs to find Boruto. Boruto's all alone, scared, he's not feeling well, she needs to find him, and when he screams, her eyes react to him, and that's basically her feelings reacting to Boruto. So I find that a moment that Sarada is the one that has to go find Boruto, which is why her eyes open pretty wide. Which I look at the scene in a way that Sarada's feelings are reacting to Boruto's feelings. So that scene to me is really important because that's all his friends looking for him in his darkest moments and maybe his darkest times. Now, I noticed that it's only Sarada and Mitsuki that are holding the umbrella outside the rain. I do see Chocho, but Inojin and Shikadai are basically hidden. They're not in the rain. They're not searching for Boruto. To me, it looks like Mitsuki and Sarada are the ones searching for Boruto. So this could be a possible foreshadow that if Boruto leaves in the future, Mitsuki and Sarada, the two people he cares the most about, are gonna come looking for him. Now, the thing that got me here the most, look carefully at Sarada's eyes. Look real carefully. There is the symbol of the side branch of the Otsutsuki. So basically all of Toneri's family on the moon, that's their symbol in Sarada's eyes. We know Toneri's a branch family member. He's not a main branch family member, as Urashiki stated. Looking at the eyes, the symbol is there. So that is kind of weird though on why the symbol's there on Sarada. There's a couple of things that actually came to my mind regarding that, and these are all possibilities of what I think it is. So first, I think Sarada finds something about Boruto and the jougan, and she finds out that the jougan is basically been awakened with the help of toneri. So that's one thing. The second thing is it has something to do with toneri, with the Mitsuki, and how Mitsuki's sage mode looks really similar to toneri. And I think that could be a possibility as well, because we see Mitsuki finally use his sage mode in this opening. This is one of the first openings that I've seen, or I think is the only opening that has Mitsuki in his sage mode being activated. I've never seen that in the other openings. I could be wrong if I missed it, but it's kind of weird though that they decide to show Mitsuki's sage mode. And if Mitsuki's sage mode has something to do with toneri, then I think that symbol in Sarada's eye is her finding out that Mitsuki is basically directly or indirectly related to toneri, and the power he uses is basically the Otsutsuki type power, which could be one thing. So now this could be a stretch, but it's possible that Sarada finds a way to save Boruto through toneri. She knows Boruto's suffering. After she heard Boruto screams, it's possible that she sets out to find the secrets behind the karma, and that leads her to toneri. If she can find a way to unfreeze him, she and toneri will talk, and basically she will find a way to save Boruto and how to get rid of Boruto's karma. Because I do think Sarada is a big player for Boruto's character, and I know Kawaki's there and all, but I think Kawaki's too focused on Naruto. In the anime, we're seeing Boruto's teammates care more about him than in the manga. In the manga, they're there, but we don't see it much because the manga has less material to show. But in the anime, we see his teammates are really concerned about him. So Sarada having that symbol in her eyes, I think it's a possible foreshadow that she's the one that's going to save Boruto. And she finds out the secret behind the karma, and that leads her to the branch family, which is toneri. There's two other things I want to talk about regarding the symbol in the eye. So one of them is that her eyes are reflecting her heart, and she is going to be the sun to Boruto's darkness. Boruto's jougan is the moon, and the sun basically hits the moon and gives it light. So her MS being a sun, she is the light to Boruto, and her seeing that figure in her eyes, in my opinion, it could be a possibility that she's reflecting that Boruto being an Otsutsuki is basically hurting her, which is why they zoom in on the eyes. The eyes reflect the heart, and the tomos evolve based on the heightened emotion. So her reflecting the heart that Boruto is becoming Otsutsuki, it affects her. This may be a possible foreshadow to the future that she's again going to save Boruto, and she's going to be the light to his darkness. Because I remember back in ending number 8, you see Boruto lying in the ground in the water, and you see him starting to cry, and then a hand reaches out to him on top of his karma hand. Now if you look closely at that hand is Sarada's hand. If you watch the anime and you compare the hand, it is Sarada's hand. I seen a post on it as well, so I think that is a possible foreshadow that she's the one that's going to save Boruto. And her MS being the sun, she's gonna be the light to his darkness. Though that's one theory, that's just an opinion based. It's up to you how you interpret all these scenes. Now this is just a pure possibility, but if you look at Ida Senraigan, it looks really similar to the shape of the moon crescent and similar to the shape of Toneri's branch family. Though we don't know Ida's background or whatever it is, it's a possibility that Sarada is going to fight Ida in the future. Now we know Ida said that people fall in love with her, they can't attack her, this and that, but if Amato knows that Ida's alive, he knows what her weaknesses are. Ida did not tell Code her weaknesses or Damon's weaknesses as well. So we don't know her weakness, and I think Amato is going to tell them her weakness, and I think Sarada is going to fight her. Though Sarada fighting Ida is a possibility. The other thing with the branch family being reflected in her eyes is that they're foreshadowing that Ida is going to come after this arc. Just like how they did in opening 7, they showed the Kara member slowly getting there, and then opening 8, you see the Kara member. It could be that they're foreshadowing that Damon, Code, and Ida are coming after this arc, which is why we see the symbol in her eyes that looks the same as her Senraigan. But like I said, it all depends on how you interpret that scenes. That's how I see the scene with Sarada's eye. To me, that's really important because we never seen Sarada interact much with Boruto and the Otsutsuki stuff. Though she's the only one that hasn't seen his eye, but everyone else has. Like Mitsuki's seen it, but he never mentions it again. Sumire's seen it, but she never said anything. Shinki's seen it, but then Shinki just mentioned very little of it. He's like, oh, that eye ... and that was it. They never spoke of it again. And then Urashiki mentions the eye being troublesome. So then I think Sarada is next, and she is finally going to see Boruto's jougan. So in this arc, we're going to see the jougan possibly, and maybe something to do with toneri if the symbol is being shown in Sarada's eye. Meaning Team 7 might finally see the jougan, and Kawaki might finally see the jougan as well. Since they are going back to the land of water, and I remember seeing the jougan briefly come up when Boruto fought Kagura. So we again may see the jougan. I think that could be a hint at it. Anyways, getting on with the other stuff in this opening. So if you look back in the very beginning of this opening, you see the headband and you see the leaf. Now I think the leaf represents Kawaki and Kawaki turning over into a new leaf. And this basically shows that Kawaki is turning into a new person. From Kawaki before episode 189 was completely different to the Kawaki now. So Kawaki being seen as the leaf, he's basically changed. He's basically upgraded himself. He's become a new version of himself. And to prove that's Kawaki is the headband. The headband's at the neck of the plant. And Kawaki is now wearing the headband on his neck. That also goes to show that we are getting close to chapter 59 and 60 when Kawaki wears Boruto's headband and he puts it around the neck. Meaning they are going to adapt 2 chapters and the rest is going to be anime canon stuff. And it looks like Kawaki does become a genin, since in the manga they did give him the headband, and now it looks like he will become a genin after he does a mission with Team 7. Now one thing that gets me out of this whole video, and that goes back to my opening 7 video, is the fact that if you look at Kawaki and Boruto, Boruto's on the dark side and Kawaki's all on the light, meaning Kawaki is on the good side and Boruto is slowly falling into the darkness to the point where he's going to hate himself, as we've seen him yelling at the karma. Now looking at these scenes, you see Kawaki is always with Team 7, or Team 7's on Kawaki's side. And going back to that video that I made almost a year ago, I talk about how Boruto is going to lose everything and Kawaki is going to take away everything from Boruto, and how Kawaki is basically going to become the new Boruto. Now we know Kawaki's a genin, and from the looks of it, even in this opening, you see Kawaki is on the side of Team 7, meaning he's the new Boruto of Team 7, and Boruto is basically slowly gonna move away from Team 7. This goes back to the doves idea, where the 2 doves flew away from Boruto, and the 2 doves being Mitsuki and Sarada, Boruto is gonna lose them, or Boruto pushes them away, which does make sense because Boruto is slowly going to lose everything, and Momoshiki saying his blue eyes will take away everything from him will possibly come true, since him losing everything to Kawaki does seem like it's happening, and Kawaki becoming the new member of Team 7 is going to replace Boruto, since I think maybe after the code arc, if Boruto does get kicked out or if Boruto's under severe lockdown, Kawaki is going to basically switch with Boruto. Since Boruto doesn't have control over his karma, but Kawaki does, they'll allow Kawaki, and they know Kawaki will be strong with his karma, so he's not an issue. But Boruto losing control and hurting other people, and maybe even coming after Kawaki, if Momoshiki takes control of his body, he's deemed too much of a risk. So Boruto is eventually going to lose it all, and looking at this opening, especially the part where he screams at his hand, it looks like he is slowly losing everything. So that's roughly it for his opening. Now the last thing I want to add is this. Towards the end, you see Mitsuki, Sarada, and Kawaki on the right side attacking the left side, and you see Boruto on the left side attacking the right side. Now, if you look on the right side, you see Kawaki uses his hand and it transforms, Sarada uses an attack, and Mitsuki goes Sage Mode. So if you notice, those 3 figures are attacking the left for a reason. Now I think it's a possibility that they're actually attacking Boruto and Boruto's transformed into borushiki. Reason I say that is because Mitsuki never ever goes Sage Mode unless it's a really important situation. For example, when Momoshiki attacked, he was about to go into Sage Mode, but then Urashiki took his chakra. He was about to save Boruto, and the thing with Mitsuki is that if Mitsuki knew he was going to fight Momoshiki, like he was going against Momoshiki, we know he has the power to fight him then. Alright, this guy's again, but he decides to go against the Otsutsuki level threat, meaning his Sage Mode is pretty strong if he was about to go fight somebody like that. And then the second time we see Mitsuki Sage Mode is against Deepa when he saved Boruto and Sarada. Then again, those 2 people are the closest to him, so he saves them. The third time now we're going to see Sage Mode is when Mitsuki has to fight against borushiki, which is why 3 people on the right side are going to fight Boruto who's on the left side, but then Boruto on the left side attacks the right side. Now the thing with Boruto, and I think they're hiding this, Boruto is actually in borushiki form, but I don't think they want to show that. I think they're hinting it in a small way where in the future, if borushiki does come out, all 3 of them on Team 7 are going to attack Boruto and find a way to bring him back, and that explains why Mitsuki is in Sage Mode. Because I find it weird that Boruto's the only one on the left side and he's attacking the right side, while the 3 on the right side are attacking the left side. So I think that's a possibility, and then right at the end of the opening, you see Team 7 all standing together and Boruto's in the sunset, meaning Team 7 brought back Boruto. They saved him, and it actually goes to show throughout the video that Boruto was on the depressed side, he was in the darkness, but then at the end his teammates end up saving him and the sun shines on the darkness, because after the rain comes light, the light being the sun. That goes back to the Sarada idea that Sarada will be the one to save him since her MS represents the sun. Though it might not just be Sarada, I think the whole Team 7 is going to save Boruto, which is why he's alone and the 3 approach him and he fist bumps Kawaki, which makes sense to me, because if it goes back to the scene before where the 3 are fighting the left side and Boruto's there, then most likely they fought back against Momoshiki or Borushiki borushiki, and those three fought to bring him back. And then at the end, Boruto's all saved and everything, and he's sitting under the sunset with all the darkness gone, meaning he was saved completely. That was the last thing I wanted to add. The rest is up to how everybody else interprets this opening. Now I know there are some things I didn't add, like Himawari being kidnapped, though I do think that is a possible future arc that might happen, but it's on the low side. The rest of the video is more, I would say, visuals, and everything else I talked about, in my opinion, it's all a possible foreshadow or theory, and this is from what I see. I could be wrong, it could be true, only the future will tell. Anyways, this is what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and thank you everybody for subscribing for the 3,000 subs. Peace out.